bonus section on dates. I want to just go through some practical examples and some real life things you might encounter. And you're not going to understand all the pieces, how they fit in, how we extract variables from the user and all that. Again, worry about that later. For now, just understand what it is we're doing. And I want you to code along with me. So I want to show you 3 quick examples. The one is, and we've already seen part of it, a user's birthday. I want us to display a message to the user only if it's his birthday. You know, it's his birthday. You want to pump the guy up a little bit.
Happy birthday!
So how would we do that? The second thing I want to go through with you is what if we want to use UTC time? So UTC is just the world standard in calculating time and clocks and managing that whole process. What about if you didn't want to use the user's local machine's time? Thirdly, what if you wanted to reformat dates? Let's look at some of these examples. Well, let's start with example number 1. We only want to display a message when it's the user's birthday. How do we do that? Well, there's a few things I think we would need. We would need the current date, the current month, and the current day. And we'll need to compare that to the user's birthday day and birthday month. And if those two are the same, we want to show them a message. If they're not the same, we do nothing. Let's code this up and hopefully it makes more sense. So here you can see we've got a blank sheet. Let's start coding. Let's call this birthday example. The very first thing you need to assume you've got is the birthday details of the user. And like before, let's create a variable. How do we do the dates again? That's right, we've got to use the new keyword, the date. And here we said we want it to be 1985, January, which starts at 0, and on the 15th. So that's the user's birthday. Great. Now let's extract the user's month and the user birthday's day. Let's extract birthday month and birthday day. You can use whatever words you want. I know I'm not the best at using words, so even if you're coding along with me, you can call your variables more intuitive names. I'm just going to call mine user birthday month. And we've got the birthday variable. And remember those get methods? Get month. This will return 0. We'll return the month of the user's birthday, which is 0. And we can test that by logging it out, console log. And there it is, 0. So we've got the month, let's now get the day. User birthday day, and let's access again. Birthday variable, get date, remember, returns the day, will return day of birthday, which is 15. And I can prove it to you by logging it out, and there it is, 15. So now we've got the user's details, but now let's get the current date. And let's call that now equals new date. And let's extract the current month and the current day. Current month equals now get month. And to get the day, current day, access that now variable, which has stored the now date. And we want to get the day. So now we've got the current month, the current day. All we need to do is display a message if those two match to the user's birthday. How would we do that? Well, in JavaScript, you've got an if statement. And it's very intuitive. We're going to get into it later, so I'm not going to get into it now. But you'll see even the syntax, like it makes sense. So now let's start the section where we display our message. If the current month and day equals the user's. So let's start an if, and this is built in JavaScript, so we don't have to code all the intricacies behind the if statement. We have to open parentheses, and now we have to define the condition. The condition is we want the dates to match. So the current month we want to make that equal to what? Well, that's right, to the user's birthday month. And we have to use the ampersand here. What else do we want? We want the current day to be equal to the user's birthday day. Oh, sorry, I put day here. It should be month. And if this is true, this is what the if statement will do. It'll coerce, and we've been through coercion. It'll coerce this whole statement. And if it's true, it will execute the code in the following block. If that is the case, we want to console happy, happy. Are you amped? You are old. Happy birthday. But if it's not true, if it's not the user's birthday, we want to do nothing. And for the sake of completeness, let's just say console log, let's do nothing. It's not the user's birthday. Whew, okay, so we've been through this whole example, and you can see how it's starting to make sense. Like it's starting to hopefully get a lot more practical and real for you. So let's see what's happened here. The birthday of the user is 1985. That we don't care about. So all we want to know whether it's his actual birthday, and all we need for that is his month and his day of birth. The month is January and the day is 15. What is the current month now? Well, let me show you. Console log current month. Current month now is April. That's why the number 3 is coming up. And the current day? It's the 14th of April. So what this means is that when we're looking at that if block and the JavaScript engine coerces or assesses or executes or evaluates that statement, current month equals user's birthday month and current day equals birthday day, that's going to coerce to false. So then the else statement is going to be executed, which is why we see that what does get consoled is let's do nothing, it's not the user's birthday. It makes sense. But now let's change the user's birthday to match the current month and current day, just to illustrate that when it is equal, the console log should be the birthday log. Let's say his birthday is April on the 14th.
Happy birthday!
Boom shakalaka. And we get it. Happy, happy. Are you amped? You are old. Happy birthday. So there you go. I hope this is getting more intuitive. Hope you're having a lot of fun. This was the first one. The second thing I wanted to show you is the UTC time zone. What about if we wanted a more accurate way to measure time across all our users across different continents? Let me show you this. So let's empty this. So now let's see another get method we can use to solve that problem. So remember, get methods are based on users' local machine's time. To be more accurate, you may want to use UTC time. How do we do this? Well, let me give you an example here. Let's say now is the time now. And we want to access the hours. My hours now, it's 11 o'clock here, 11:30. Let's just print time normally. Console log now, and I'll get hours. And you can see it's 11 o'clock here. But what about if I wanted to use UTC time? Let's use UTC time. Well, it's very simple. Because we've instantiated the date object by using the new keyword, we've got built-in methods and properties straight out of the box. And instead of using get hours, we can use get UTC hours. So let's access our now variable and get UTC hours. There you go. It's 9 o'clock UTC time. That was the second example. The third example was, what about if I wanted to reformat dates to show the user what he's set on his machine? Pretty cool, eh? So let's get rid of this. Give you one more example. How do we go about reformatting dates? Well, the internationalization API is very well supported across browsers. And it's not only limited to dates. This API is awesome. We can also modify numbers and strings and currencies. Let me show you an example. So again, let's create a variable called now. Let's make that equal to 1st of January 2020. Now if I console log this date out, the format's going to be standard. It's going to be what the code, what the JavaScript engine gives me, which is that. Say I don't want that. Say I want it formatted to whatever settings I've got on my computer. Well, we can do that. Let's just say now this is the new date. We now need to access the internationalization API. Whew, that's a mouthful. We do that by the keyword intl. And what are we wanting to affect here? Remember I said we can do currencies, numbers, strings. Well, we want to do the date. So we want to access the date time format method. And a method on that object is the format method. And what do we want to format? Our date, which is now. And that's it. That's done. Well, let me console log new date. There you go. So instead of showing that big long string, I just get 2020 first. How awesome is this? Okay, so I hope you've had fun in this section. It was a bit of a bonus section. We've got a lot more to cover. Get amped, get a coffee, and let's move on.